Hello everyone and welcome into the channel. My name is Unchallenged, and in today's video we're going to go ahead and go over my very first public devlog of a game I am working on called Heroes Downfall. This will be a text-based adventure game, and what we're going to go ahead and discuss in this video is mostly three areas. Number one, we're going to go ahead and cover the idea and concept behind the design of my game that I'm working on. Number two, we're going to go over some of the events that I'm currently adding into the game and kind of reference back to the initial idea of why I'm making a game such as this. And then number three, we're going to go through a playthrough of the game altogether, just a little demo of what I've put together so far. And at any time during the playthrough or during the discussion, if you guys have this, comments, suggestions, feedback for, nothing is completely set in stone. The classes, the items, the names, all of that is to still be flushed out and polished towards the end. Right now, it's all about getting the mechanics in play, and we'll go ahead and discuss a lot of that today. So with that said, if you guys are brand new here to the channel, definitely go down below, give this video a big old thumbs up. It does help out this channel, help out the, get shown out to others that are interested in this topic, and also subscribe to the channel if you guys are interested in game design, game playing. I had streamed World of Warcraft and Minecraft in the past prior to I had an injury. We'll go ahead and cover that in a minute, but and just for future updates of the game. And also join the Discord server. I do have a link down in the description. Okay, with that said, let's go ahead and jump into the video. So number one, the idea and concept behind Heroes Downfall. In early 2024, on New Year's Eve, I was out hiking with my family. I fell while traveling downhill, and I completely ruptured my right quadricep. Wasn't able to walk at all and had to have surgery to have it reattached, right? So I was not able to walk for 2 months. In that time frame, I had crutches and was not very mobile besides hopping around, and it was painful. So in that time frame, I had played a lot of board games with my kids, from Dungeon, the board game where you select a specific class, you have different attributes, you have to roll your dice in order to hit, and you move around the board depending on your class to enter chambers where you defeat monsters and collect treasure. The first one that hits a specific threshold is then able to return back to the chamber and win the game. So that was one that we really enjoyed and played. And then we also played a couple card games such as Dungeon Mayhem, where we had our very own classes again. You had randomized cards that you would draw out of a deck. You would get like attack cards, block cards, draw more cards, different things of that nature. And then we played Tiny Epic Dungeons, but in this game, you were able to select your class. You had equipment you could upgrade. You could do a whole lot more. You were actually exploring through a dungeon a lot better and more advanced than the dungeon game. And my kids really enjoyed this, being able to pick a specific class, have attributes, adjust your character. Getting upgrades felt really good. Collecting treasure, defeating monsters. So I wanted to create a game around these concepts. So that goes into number two. The events and different mechanics that'll be included within this text-based adventure game are, number one, obviously you're going to have battle events that are going to be taking place as you're moving throughout the game. There will also be options to go on side adventures that will allow you to collect different items, loot, uniqueness, things of that nature, right? You'll be able to get offered quests from your own faction in order to help him defeat, a monster, mini boss, or, who knows what I want to add. I might add some little items that you might collect throughout the dungeoneering. I don't know if that's a word. And then return back to them or have them in your inventory while you run across them in the future, and then be able to be provided an item, right? These kind of quest style events. We also have randomized treasure that as you go through the plane, you'll be able to get different weapons, armor, items of that nature, just kind of randomly, or maybe have a, maybe not so random, right? Maybe you'll think you'll get treasure, but instead you'll get attacked by some monster, right? There'll be some story encounters to kind of progress the storyline in the future. Right now, I have what I want the storyline to kind of be. I do have to kind of massage it out and flush it out. So right now, that is all going to be hidden at the moment just because I don't want to have any spoilers at the moment, and I want to get my story really kind of flushed out. Obviously, there'll be mini bosses and difficulty scaling along the way, and then there'll be a final boss depending on the difficulty, the length of the game will be. So, with that said, we'll go into number 3, the quick playthrough, and then again, down below, comment section, if you guys have any feedback or suggestions at any time, let me know. I really do appreciate feedback. I think that's a great thing about YouTube is you guys are here viewing the channel, viewing the video, and can always say hello or just say, hey, have you tried looking at this, right? Obviously, I don't want to make it too big at the beginning. I want to get a lot of the mechanics in place and then release it as a version, version 0, right? Version 1, and then do upgrades along the way to polish it out much better, because what happens with a lot of developers is they make something but they polish it so long that it just takes 2, 3, 4 years, and then they have this game that they never release. So I'd rather release it early on with a lot of the mechanics in place and then flush it along the way with feedback from the users. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the quick playthrough, right? This will just be a demo. It's only about 20 different floors, so we'll go ahead and cover that. Right now, all the classes are not set up. I have some classes enabled. Obviously, you see the rogue and the warrior, but these will change over time depending on what I actually wanted to have. Maybe you'll start with a specific class and unlock different classes along the way, or maybe you'll be able to select whatever class you choose from the beginning. I haven't decided that yet, but for now, for testing purposes, I always want to include at least 2 classes, 2 of everything. That way I can test to make sure that the randomization is working, and then I could always add additional features, right? So we're going to go ahead and choose the warrior class. First thing, as you go into the game, you're going to get that hook story element of who you are, why you're here, what you're doing, all that fun stuff, right? And then you'll have your stats depending on your character. You'll have your HP, your mana, your attack, your block, your speed, your gold, your starting gold. I gave myself quite a bit of starting gold because I do have a test shop here set up. That was the last thing I've been kind of working on, where we can buy specific things. As you move through the dungeon, you will come across a goblin, and he'll be able to offer you different items depending on your progression in the game, and they'll do different specific things, right? So here, the basis of the story is, well, I don't want, that's again kind of spoiler, but just similar to what a game board is like, is what this game will play like. You're starting at the very start of a game board, and you're going to be progressing through the game board to reach your the final step. In this case, the demo goes up to floor 20, and then you'll win if you're able to beat that, get all the way there. So here we can go ahead and head upstairs. That's our only option. There'll be an early entry gear area, so you'll have to loot a corpse that you find along the way. In this case, we're able to pick up a jagged short sword and a sturdy buckler. By picking up these items, they're automatically added to our attributes here. You can see that our attack has a base value of 4 plus 1, and our block has a base value of 1 plus 1. If you go down to our inventory, these will be moved into their own areas like characteristics, equipment, or maybe like character. So you'll open up your character screen, and you'll have your inventory and your stats. But for now, I just have it in one single page. You can see that we do have a weapon and a shield equipped. One gives us 1 attack, the other gives us 1 block. And we can see that our stats are adjusted down here by the plus right here. We'll go ahead and close that and continue heading upstairs. We'll go into our very first encounter. This is a turn-based, text-based game, right? Text-based games, there's not a whole lot you can do when it comes to combat. Really, there's like the action-based combat where you're spamming a button over and over and over while it's doing like a countdown to your next attack. Or you could actually have some different special attacks. You could choose to flee, you can punch because your weapon broke along the way, so you got to punch this guy out, or you could use your weapon. So I do have the punch on the left hand side, which is your base attack. So here we charge forward, delivering a powerful punch which deals our 4 damage. The elven archer blocks 0 the attack and doing a total of 4 damage. So our base attack is 4, so that's how much we hit them for. If we do choose to use our weapon, it just adds that additional attack based on our weapon power. Here we're going to take a hit. He does 2 to 4 damage, And right now we do have a block value of 1 + 1, so we'll be able to block 2 of the attack. This guy hit for 4, we blocked 2 of the attack, getting hit for a total of 2, and we swap back over to the defensive stance. So in this case, we could attack him for 4 + 1 is 5, or we could use our special attack. So our special attack is Bash. It does use up some mana. You can see here, we lost 5 mana. We dealt 8 damage, bypassing their block completely. So if this guy had block, it would completely bypass his block and defeat him. So you can see here, we have 18 HP afterwards and 5 mana. We go to inspect the remains, and we recovered 1 life, 1 mana, and oh look, some treasure. So we got 10 gold, and we took the Jack Leather Helmet. So if we go to our inventory, the Jack Leather Helmet gets automatically equipped, and it gives us 1 to our health, which we can see adjusted down here. We'll go ahead and close the inventory and continue on the adventure. Here we snuck up on a human knight, so that's where the speed element gets played into. The speed, depending on the speed of the human knight. So if we attack this guy, we'll see that his speed value is 2. We're faster than him, so we get that first initial hit. If the enemy is faster than us, they'll get that first initial hit, and we'll be on the defensive stance. So as you progress through the dungeon floors, you'll want to be increasing your specific stats that you feel might be needing to be improved by going off in adventures, side missions, and such, right? So in this case, this guy does 2 to 3. We can basically almost block all of his attacks. So he hit for 3, we blocked for 2, took 1 total damage. We'll go ahead and just kind of fight this guy down pretty quickly and defeat him. We did recover a little bit of health and mana, and we got some more treasure. We did get a new helmet. We got the fox leather helmet. We sold the old one, so we sold the jackal leather helmet for 5 gold. And we equipped the fox leather helmet already, which provides us with 2 additional health. In the future, I'll be adding the stats, like what they give. The fox leather helmet gives +2 to life, right? Over here, it kind of already does it. All I need to do is just change 1 line of code, a couple lines of code there, and it'll do the exact same thing. That way, when you do get like a fox leather helmet that does, attack or HP or something like that, you guys could always choose between this item or that. So this is one of the elements, the mechanics here of the side adventures. So the air is thick with the scent of earth and decay, making each breath feel heavy in your chest. At the top of the steps, a narrow tunnel stretches into the darkness. The air here is stale, with the faint sound of dripping water echoes through the passage. So we can explore this passage here, this tunnel, to get a lizard leather armor with +1. Right now we don't have any armor, so if we want to go through the, go into the tunnel here, we squeeze through the tunnel, and now we can investigate through the crack. We can continue exploring out the tunnel, but as we explore the tunnel, we reach a dead end and are no longer able to venture any deeper. You return back to the crack on the wall. So in this case, we can squeeze on through, and here, I've already gone through this so many times, so I'm just going to go ahead and shoot through here to disable traps in the correct order. Even though I've played through here quite a bit, it's still... So if we don't read what's going on with the story, and we don't pick the correct choices, obviously, say we're just trying to speed rush it, we're not inspecting the door, we open the door instead, we'll get shot. So here a poison dart shoots out and hits us in the shoulder, and we lose a life. So we drop from 20 life down to 19. We should have, inspected the door, right? So it makes sense to kind of read along and make sure that you're selecting the choices before progressing, because by reading the storyline and not always hitting just the front button, you'll be able to disable traps or just have random encounters. So here we do see that on top of the pedestal rests the lizard armor, and we can go ahead and approach the artifact, and we'll go ahead and take the lizard leather armor. So we take that. We had no previous armor, so that became just attached right away. It gives us 1 to our mana. We can close the inventory and return back to the stairs. We have successfully acquired the lizard leather armor with +1 to mana, and we can go ahead and continue climbing our staircase. So right now we're going to head upstairs, and we're now on floor 5. If we choose to flee, we do have 180 gold, so we could just flee. You throw a handful of coins at the dwarven berserkers. You know how dwarves are with their coins. So we were able to distract them and run for our life. We did lose 15 gold, but that's fine. And we can go ahead and continue. We ran into an elven archer. Okay, we're going to go ahead and fight this guy really quickly. He doesn't have much health or block, so we were able to swiftly take him out. We did sell our sturdy buckler for 5 gold. This thing, the old one only had 1+1 value, so the strong one gives us +2. We can already see that our block was adjusted here to +2, and our inventory has been adjusted as well to +2 along with our inventory, and we can continue. Here we ascend a narrow staircase. The cold, damp air of the catacombs presses in against you. Each step echoes ominously, hitting at the long forgotten secrets buried here. At the top of the stairs, you discover a crumbled wall with a faint outline of a path beyond it, should you inspect the wall. So here we have the potential to get the glorious buckler. So right now, I'd like to showcase what you could potentially get, but I'm not sure if there'll be somebody here giving like a quest like, hey, if you guys help me on this journey here at the very end, or you come across somebody that says like, I've heard tales of following this area and getting this glorious buckler, right? I don't know exactly how I want to do it, but for the test purposes, I just have it showing up here where we can explore to get the potential to get the glorious buckler. Obviously, this is the +3, so this is an upgrade. We'll go through this tunnel and begin exploring through the area here. I don't think I've gone through this one. We're just like hitting the north options, and we're just kind of progressing through this one, right? We're going to go ahead and shield up. Oh, I don't have this one set up. Okay, so this is one I was working on, one of the events. So none of these options are working. So this is one of the ones where I haven't finished it out all the way. I got to flush it out. So in this case, we just got to return back and continue heading upstairs. So unfortunately, you didn't find the glorious buckler. With a heavy heart, you turn back and climb the original staircase. So now we're going to go from floor 7 up to floor 8. We'll go ahead and fight this berserker off. I'm hoping that I get a different weapon. Nope, we got a shield. We'll go ahead and continue. Elven archer, this guy's got 5 life. Yeah, we basically do a lot of the blocking now, so they're not going to do a whole lot of damage to us at the moment. We got some pacing leather boots that increases our speed, so we're pretty much going to go ahead and be able to attack a lot of these guys. So we hit floor 10. Right now I have the difficulty scaling every 10 floors, so this is going to be a scaling up. Obviously, you can see this guy has 30 life now versus the original guys. The lower level guys have 10 to 12 life, so it's gonna make you want to go and do your side adventures whenever you do see the chance to upgrade your armor, your weapons, your shields, because those are going to really benefit you along the way. So in this case, this guy hit us for 4, not a whole lot. We blocked 3 of the attack, getting hit for 1. We'll go ahead and go back and forth here. This guy, I'm going to go ahead and just use my special defense. So here we use shield wall. It doubles our strong buckler's block value up to 4. This guy hit us for 4. We blocked 5 of the attack because our shield wall increased or doubled our bucklers to 4. And then we have that base of 1, so we got 5. So we blocked all of it. We'll go ahead and strike this guy down. So I'm just going to go back and forth. I see my life is dropping crazy. Okay. So I don't have a test. I don't have the market guy popping up at the moment, but I do want to show you the very end of the demo. So I'm going to go ahead and cheat a little bit here and buy some potions. And I'm going to go ahead and use these potions. So you can see my health here is 6, and then my plus is 2. So the potions increase my health by 10. So we do get 10 additional health. So that'll be something that I'll add here. Like I will add a line item that'll show plus 10 to health, right? Something along those lines. I don't have that. But we'll go ahead and just buy a few health potions. And then for testing purposes, we'll go ahead and buy the upgraded weapon. Yeah, we got the new brutal weapon. And we got the blessed buckler now. And we just loaded ourselves with some mana. We'll use a potion as well to kind of get our mana back up. And then now these guys will go down a lot faster. So we attack with the brutal short sword. This thing does a lot more. So this thing adds 4 to 5 additional damage on top of our 4. So we're doing a base value of 8 to 9 damage each hit. And then we'll just go ahead and block it. We blocked all the attack and we finish them off. And we did get some treasure, but ours is better. So this goes to one of the random treasures or random encounters that we'll have despite a battle, right? This is one of those ones where, hey, you discovered an urn in a forgotten corner of the catacombs. Inside, you hear what sounds like a hissing noise. So this is one of the options where, do you want to open it? How's your life looking? Is your life at the lower end? Is it at the higher end? Do you want to potentially get treasure, or do you want to potentially go into a battle? What's going to happen here? So we'll open the urn, but hey, you must be hearing things. It's just some treasure. So in this case, we were able to get some treasure here. We got lizard leather armor, but we already have one so that was like it, so we sold it for some gold. We'll continue upstairs, and here we can see that there's a chamber. We'll go ahead and loot the chamber. We took the sturdy buckler, but ours is better, so we can continue heading upstairs. Here we're going to fight a wizard off. Our gear is actually pretty good. We won't really get too damaged. Our sword and shield combo here makes a lot of these guys do almost nothing. We really should be at like the second or third tier of gear, but right now I think we're at the fourth or fifth tier of gear, so we're able to kind of make do with a lot of these floors pretty quickly. And I think we already have a better weapon, 4 to 5 versus the 3 to 4. So we'll just continue heading upstairs. We'll open up the urn, and as you can see, inside that urn, while we still had the hissing noise that we thought was not a snake because of the last events showing us that, hey, we opened the urn, we were just hearing things. In this case, there was an urn snake, and we got to prepare to defend ourselves. So we're just going to go ahead and use our buckler. So this guy attacks 8 damage, and the urn snake, oh, we hit him for 8. Okay, yeah, we attacked for 8. He blocked 0 the attack, doing a total of 8. We swap over to defensive. We can see that this guy does 5 to 9 damage. So he does do quite a bit of damage, 5 to 9. We're able to block 5 of it. If we use our shield wall, we can double our ability up to 8 plus 1 is 9. So this guy attacks us for 7. We block 9 of the attack, getting hit for a total of 0. And we'll go ahead and strike him, use our shield, strike him again, and finish him off. Okay. We did get a deadly short sword, but ours is better. And we'll just kind of continue heading upstairs. Open the chest. We collected some treasure, some random treasure. We'll go ahead and continue. We're at floor 19. We'll go ahead and flee from this one. And then this will be a mini boss. So I'm going to make mini bosses appear where you will not be able to flee from them. You can see that it does cost quite a bit more to flee here. Instead of 15 gold or 30 gold, it now costs 45 gold to flee from the bosses that are level 20 through 30. But in this case, we'll go ahead and fight this guy off. You can see that this guy has much more health, much more attack than what we had fought previously. So here we do 8. He blocked 1, but we still managed to do 7. You'll see that at this time, our gear is actually going to be right on par, where we can use a lot of our abilities here, use our special defense to kind of, this guy hits for 8, but we blocked 9, so he was only able to do 2. And we'll want to save mana and have those, you want to buy potions along the way to recover your health and mana, so we'll use a potion as well. So anytime you do run across a shop, a chance to buy something, you'll want to at least have 1 health potion, 1 mana potion. That way, when you do move up, you'll be able to continue using your abilities and such. You don't want to just spam the buttons, because by doing that, you will end up eventually just losing. You'll actually want to choose to do specific things. So in this case, we're on the offense. This guy has 4 life left. He attacked us for 11. I'm glad he didn't finish this off, but we should be able to finish this guy off right now. We attacked him with our brutal short sword, dealing 8 damage. The assassin blocked 1 of the attack, and we defeated the assassin. So here we go ahead. Whoops, not that. We inspect the remains, and we got some new armor. We took the new armor. We can see that the new armor gives us +2 to our mana. We can continue, and we were victorious. So we won. You won the game, you clicked you won, and you go back to the beginning. So that is the quick 20 level dungeon. All of the elements, like each stair is like a different piece on the board game. So obviously you start at the start of the board game, and as you're moving through the board game, you're just drawing a card, and it's a random thing, right? You're doing a battle, you're being offered to do a side mission for some side treasure, some treasure. You're able to have, right now I don't have any quests added in, but they'll be very similar to what the side adventures are, where you're able to go off and help somebody do something in order to get some sort of treasure item or equipment. We're able to get randomized treasures along the way where you can kind of choose to either just open up a chest, check out an urn, check out a chamber, and collect different treasures or have fights, depending on what happens randomly. There'll be some story encounters along the way to kind of progress the storyline of how I want to have it set up. There'll be many bosses that you will not be able to skip. It'll be like a gear check to make sure that you've actually done some of the side missions. You've gone off and completed some of the side missions in order to get gear. And the difficulty scaling will be adjusted. Bosses will be adjusted. Different items will be introduced into the game. And I don't know if I want to add like a go backwards element where, hey, you got to level 20, but maybe you missed something that you might need in order to progress to the next level 20 to 30. So what if you go back 5 floors? So instead of going up, you might be able to go back 5 floors and have 5 more chances in that specific tier group to go off on a different side adventure that will unlock you a new helmet, armor, boots, weapon, shield, things of that nature. So that is the game as it is right now. There's a few more elements I want to add into the game. I want to flesh out some of the side adventures as well, add in the quest to complete, add in some different mini bosses and flesh out my storyline. But for a couple weeks being put into this, it's being fairly polished at the moment. So that is going to be it for this video. I'm looking at the time here and I'm very shocked that I'm at 26 minutes and 34 seconds. So if you guys stuck out to the very end, let me know down in the comment section below. Say, hey, I stuck out to the very end. I really appreciate you guys that did that. And if you guys have any comments, suggestions, feedback, always provide that down below. And I do appreciate it. That is it from me. I will see you guys in the next video. Remember to go down below, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you guys have not yet subscribed, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.